Buenos dias, everybody. Almost forgot. Got to get the hat signature look. We're here about, and there it is, 1 minute away from opening bell. How's everybody doing this morning? Que pedo, que anda, que pasa, que tal to all my people down in Mexico that are watching. And we're starting really green. I'm going to just jump right to the market here. Getting a late start this morning. And we see a huge candle here to start the opening minute. And let's see how this thing runs out. Then we'll check out some news and some other things. Hitting 1045, so that's what we want to see. And we'll put the flex grid on so we can see how AMC and GME are doing comparatively. So yeah, looks like both stepped in with a little bit of buying power this morning and then kind of just shot down. So see how this 1 minute finishes out. And I imagine these could be some contracts getting filled that are set to market hours only. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, not a ton of volume. And this is how we're going to start the day, which is totally fine. Totally fine, because we go back and look. We had something very similar yesterday. Bit of a sell-off, hit our low point for the day early on the 3rd minute of the opening bell, and then we kind of rose from there. So we may do something similar today. We'll take a look at the after hours. Yesterday afternoon in the after hours, just kind of traded sideways for a bit. Nothing crazy going on. And then in the pre-market, though, however, we did see a nice step up in buying power. Reached oversold a few times in the pre-market this morning, according to the RSI. And currently now sitting in oversold territory at market open here. So, not too choppy of a price action. Just for a few minutes both times, up and then down, and then we traded sideways for the rest of the morning here early on in the pre-market. Bit of a sell-off here to start the day. Looks like we're finding that low point at about 1018, which yeah, few cents, about 9 cents above what we found yesterday. Nothing too crazy going on. If we find sub 10s, I'll add to my position over in AMC. Some other things starting out pretty green. Looks we got Hog starting out a little green, Rocket starting out a little green. Although we did see Rocket yesterday start out green and then go red. So AT&T doing okay this morning. Actually sitting up about a little over 5.5% in AT&T in our position there. So not bad. That is probably about half our portfolio, or just under half, I guess you could say. It's like 40 on AMC, 45 on AT&T, and then the rest kind of split between. Hawk is a fairly large portion, about $1,500 or so, almost $2,000 in the old Harley Davidson. So we'll look right here to see some signs of some consolidation here. See a little bit of consolidation, and then hopefully we'll see signs of reversal, and then a push back up to test this 1050 today. So I'd like to finish above 1050 today. We didn't quite hit it yesterday in the afternoon. Short week this week. I believe this Friday is a holiday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it is Good Friday this Friday, so I believe the markets are closed on Friday. So we'll just kind of watch AMC pretty closely here and see what happens. Looks like we're going to start consolidating a little bit, and then I'll look for a reversal. Yeah, still down here and oversold, so just kind of playing around right here on that bottom line of the RSI at 30. I guess normally what I do is I kind of start the scan later on in the morning. Let's actually start it first off in the morning and kind of see what's moving this morning to get going. That way, if you are looking to scalp or day trade or possibly even swing trade a position, this is where I go to find those stocks. It's just a stock scan tool here on Thinkorswim platform from TD Ameritrade, and I've got my parameters set here at $5 to $30. Volume between 350 and 200 million, and stock change of 0% to 1,000%. So this pulls up a little bit less than what you could see. MNPR, we've got VTSI. Let's go check out VTSI and see what's going on over here. Vitra. So all in the pre-market this morning here. Reached a high of 14.85, low yesterday of $4.58. Currently sitting about $7.77. Looks like it kind of bled slowly and then traded sideways. So not too much down here. Could be looking to make another run this morning. Volume sitting at about 447,000, so that's not too bad on this last minute here. And if we go to analyze here, Vitra Inc. is a global provider of judgmental use of force training simulators, firearms training simulators, and driving simulators for the law enforcement, military, education, and educational and commercial markets. The company technology, software, and scenarios provide intense training for de-escalation, judgmental use of force, marksmanship, and related training that mimics real-world situations. The Vitra Firearms Training Simulator allows marksmanship and realistic scenario-based training to take place on a daily basis without the need for a shooting range, protective equipment, role players, safety officers, or a scenario-based training site. The company's simulator products include the V300 simulator, V180 simulator, V100, and V100 mil. Vitra Driving Sim, Vitra Interactive Coursework, Training Academy, subscription training equipment partner. Yeah, so you guys get the hint here. They are a simulated training company providing equipment for the military, law enforcement, and educational sources. So let me go back to the charts and I'll pull up some news and see if there's any news related here. Yeah, Virtra. I'm saying Vitra. It's Virtra shares halted on circuit breaker, up 62.6%. Here's a little article, what's going on with Vitra and whatever this other company is here. What is that? WSE. Shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected fourth quarter earnings per share and sales results. Virtua reported quarterly earnings of 19 cents per share, which handily beat the analyst consensus estimate of 4 cents. Share spiked past the $14 mark in Tuesday's pre-market session, representing price per share gains of around 193% from Monday market close of $4.78. And then Wave Life Sciences trading lower after the company reported MHTT results from pre-decision HT trials do not support further development of WVE-120102 and WVE-120101. Wave is a preclinical biopharmaceutical company based in Singapore. The company owns a diverse pipeline of nucleic acid therapeutics meant to address rare genetic diseases related to the central nervous system, muscles, eyes, liver, and skin. So looks like they're trading the other way, and Virtra is trading on its way up. Could be done. However, seeing some decent volume here, 447,000. Go back to analyze and see what their Yeah, well, wouldn't you know? Looking to see their total shares outstanding to kind of see where they stand. Might have to look this up on Yahoo Finance here, because if they're trading in that kind of volume, that means there still may be a push here to come. So consolidating, looks like it could be moving upwards here. Currently sitting at 447, last minute 478. Not doing too bad. So could be a little bit of a runner, at least back up to where we saw in the pre-market of 1485. Looks like there's still interest in this position. I think I only have enough for a few shares here laying around in my account. Now, when we're looking at volume here, I'm noticing this thing is moving quite slowly. So this could be due to just the time frame that they're actually reporting this stock. I mean, got it set for 1 day, 1 minute. That's where I like to keep it, just see the current fluctuations. Still setting at around 777, and not really sure what's going on, why it is not moving. Looks like AMC sitting at 1038. So a couple cents up from where they closed yesterday. I believe they closed at 1034. It was about 10 or 11 cents higher than where they opened at, or where they closed on Friday. Just going to watch this out and see what happens in this next candle here. This could be a position to, an opportunity to scalp. We've got a news catalyst, we've got good volume, and we've got potential if we look at where they were at in pre-market. So even if they don't get up to all the way at 14, I mean, there's some potential. They did trade a little sideways here at this 10 and a half range. Excuse me, 10 3/4 range. So what would that look like if we were trying to get at, you know, the minimum here that I like to talk about is 2.5% on a scalp. So looks like our 2.5 would be right about here at 1025. And that actually does not sound right. 778. Okay. way off. That would have been higher than 25%. Shoot, our 2% is way down here. And so low. There we go. At about 797. So if we can just get this to push over 8 from 777, there's your 2.5% for a nice little swing trade. And if I can see what's going on here, why this thing is not reporting, we may enter a position here. Let me just check actually on my account, see what I've got rolling around in the account. I think I got a couple bucks. Everything that I have is mostly tied up in AMC and a few other positions, as you guys know if you watch the stream as of late. However, I do have a little bit of money here. Yeah, there's a little bit, and we could use this opportunity to practice our scalping techniques and our strategy here, which strategy would be find a position that's moving upwards, driven by some kind of catalyst, news, earnings, whatnot, and this one happens to be earnings, and find something with volume. So to me, if I'm looking at volume here, although I don't think this is reflective as to real volume, seeing as how the candles are not moving, so something's going on here, and this could be What is going on here? So I thought this was from earlier this morning, but it looks as though this is 8:36. Looks as though they've been halted. So we will keep an eye on this one, and who knows, maybe I just throw a couple of positions over here, just a couple bucks, maybe one position or something, just to practice, right? Still learning the my strategy, perfecting my craft here. Still learning how to swing and scalp and day trade and all that good stuff. So that's kind of why I'm doing this channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, new to the stream, I'm not a technical advisor. I'm doing this for pure entertainment and just to kind of document my journey to becoming a successful day trader. And to show some of you out there that you don't need, a $5,000 portfolio to get started. And we're back. And we are going to go ahead and enter a position here of about 1 share. Shoot. Oh, all right. So I got filled there, and looks like I got filled at 8:54. So if I were to set this here, oh shoot, at about 8:54. Oh, little sell. Jeez, I can't get it to hit that mark. All right, we'll just do it from there. All right, so looking to see this kind of move up. Could even try to get 5% out of this today at 8.98. So we'll just actually watch this for a bit. And see what we think we can get out of this. Because I could go ahead, set the limit order to sell here our lonely old share, or 100% of our position. As you guys can see, that's what I did. I just clicked this button right here. You've got preset limits where you can set to buy or sell that amount of shares, or that position of your what you hold. So let's set over here at $9. See if we can touch that. And that should give us roughly just over 5% there. I'm going to leave it alone. Let's go take a look at AMC. So you don't need a fortune to kind of start your trading. It doesn't take very much. You've got $100, $50. You can enter it in. I think to open some accounts you need a minimum of like 100 or 125 or 75. I can't remember what it is for TD Ameritrade, who I cannot recommend enough. I love TD Ameritrade. Never had any issues out of them. And all right, so unfortunately I did waste a day trade there. A day trade there. We were filled at that that price point, and um, hmm. Go back here. So just kind of consolidating here. Could actually push up farther. And yeah, so only 46 cents there. Not a lot, but it was over 5%. So you guys imagine what you can do, if you would have put a couple $100 into that position, and obviously still not the best demonstration there. I guess just because it's so close. When you're under $10, I mean, you don't. It's like that 50-cent swing there, which is kind of happening all in here. You can see there's a lot of movement going on in these candles here. From 787 to 888. I mean, that's a huge swing there. Just in this one candle. I know that, let's not even take this candle because I think this is kind of where we were halted. But if you look at this candle here, which is another large one, I mean, that's 10% within 1 minute there. Price fluctuation. Where typically you may not see that much movement within the position. And we are currently in oversold territory and starting to look to pull back. According to the RSI here, it could trade this way for quite some time. But typically what you'll see is it will kind of start to sell. The buying or the selling pressure will start to kick in, and they'll start to sell, and they'll start to kind of trend down or a little bit sideways, maybe a slow bleed, but looks like it's not going to happen. Pushing up here, got to about 910 right there, so potential is there to make a little bit more. I just entered in a position because I see the potential here. This actually hits all the check boxes we're looking for a scalping opportunity here. And man, if anybody else is trading here, give me one quick sec here. All right, I just wanted to put something over in the Discord for the Learn Plan Profit group that I'm associated with. Just to give them a heads up that this thing could be moving, and looks like they've got CSCW with a question mark. We'll go check this out. There's our little pullback here. We'll wait for it to consolidate and possibly move up. So they say CSCW. Oh, okay. Well, it reached its high already. Color Star Technology. Huh. So this one could be a good play. Um we may enter a position here. There's a consolidation. We'll wait to see this close. So that's a little zoomed out there. Let me zoom out even more. All right, I'll just keep it right there. So we saw the pullback. We see the consolidation here. We're closing above. So could be a good spot to buy, especially if we get above this area here, this 1022 mark. I'll be looking to set a buy order here, potentially. Yeah, I mean, the only issue is that, and actually I could probably buy like 5 of these. So we'll see what happens over here. If we start to get a little run. Yeah. So started to push up, but didn't quite see that second candle. Here's our consolidation here. You can see we're at the top of these 3 candles here. Just kind of at that line. We started to make a reversal, and not quite a full reversal here, as we didn't see the second candle start to break out, and really would like to see it press above this 221. So we're gonna leave this one alone for now. So it looks like I was filled at the $9 mark here on the VTSI. Bought at 8.54. I don't know if you guys can see that far down. Bought at 8.54, sold at $9. So we'll go back and take a look at VTSI, CSCW. We will keep on the back burner here because these NFT plays, if you guys have been following along, they are fire right now. So actually not much has changed from where we last left off. So CSCW is up 54%. We were just looking over there. GME is up 4.63%. This is within the last hour. Apple's down. Viacom up 1.2%. Yeah, the biggest mover so far from what we're seeing. And if you guys are familiar with Ricky Gutierrez, he runs a Learn Plan Profit group. It's a huge organization on Discord as well as Facebook. You'd have to go watch one of his videos on YouTube to figure out how many members he actually has. At one point, he was the youngest millionaire in Gilbert, Arizona, possibly all of Arizona, and he made his wealth day trading. And he has a little, I think I paid a course. It's like $200 or something, and I've paid for it. But you get access to the Learn Plan Profit group on Discord, their private Discord server. And, you know, they have a chat where they basically will give call outs to each other. They have Sunday Stock Watch, and it looks like we're just updated here. CSCW up 61, VTSI up 61. So looks like they, and that was just updated a couple minutes ago, so they are calling out the exact same stocks that that we're looking at. They have a stock bot that every so often will pump out. Let's see, that was at 8.58. This one's at 8.53. So it looks like, if according to this, every 5 minutes. But it'll show the hot moving stocks for the day. And massive sell-off here for VTSI right now. Maybe not massive, excuse me, but could be a little bit of a pullback. We'll keep an eye on this thing. We were in oversold territory, so looks like we didn't lose out on too much profit here. We got our 5% and we got out. Yeah, it was only 1 share, so what? Imagine if that was, you know, a couple $1,000s, you know. So 50 cents a position, not bad, you know. If you had $100, 10 positions, you know, looking at around $5. So not bad. 5% is 5%, right? I'll take it. The only bad news is I just gave up one of my PDT, one of my day trades. So it's fine. I've got two more. Like I said, everything else I have is really just tied up here in AMC and AT&T, which AT&T is my long-term play. So according to what I can use to day and swing trade, it's almost all tied up in AMC. So we'll go back over to CSCW real quick. Just take a look and see what they're doing. Looks like they're kind of trading sideways for a little bit here. And the news was that ColorStar Technology shares are trading higher after the company announced the development and application of its non-fungible token for its entertainment business. So you guys already know. You already know. This is huge news. If we go back and we look at TCAT, what happened to them, driven almost solely on NFT here, from trading about $2 from where they were at all the way up to 74. So this CSCW could be one to watch. But man, this is basically a penny stock. I mean, it's risky. It is a risky play. But opportunity is there. You throw $100 in this thing, and you know, if it blows up, it blows up. If not, you're at $100. I can't tell if this thing was actually halted or not. No, it's still moving. I think we added this one already to the watch list. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it again if we didn't already. I'll actually pull up the watch list here and see if I added a VTSI as well. And so I did not add VTSI, but I did add CSCW. VTSI, you know what? This is like a one-time deal. They had Q4 earnings that were pretty good, so yeah, I just kind of want to leave that alone. Rip Tesla. What's Tesla doing this morning? Oh. I mean, you know, that's good news for you that think Tesla is worth a lot more than this. I'll give you my personal experience with Tesla, and it's not really an experience, it's more of a story. I've been following Tesla since 2017, since I started the stock market. Tesla is the reason that I got into the stock market. Back in 2017, I think when I was watching it, it was around $200 a share. And for me, that was too much. You know, I just was entering in. I think I had started my account with a couple $100, like less than $500. Was slowly trying to build my account. And the first thing I did was I looked at other vehicle manufacturers like General Motors, Ford, a few other companies, right? Toyota, some Japanese companies. And I saw that, you know, they were not trading in the 200s of dollars. So why should Tesla be trading there? Little did I know, you know, at this point now, Tesla has a lot of things under their umbrella. Solar City and SpaceX and Boring Company and a few other things that kind of drive that price value up. However, you know, it's really hard to tell what the true price of Tesla is. And for that reason, I just kind of, I couldn't afford it. You know, yeah, I could afford maybe one share, which probably would have been a good payoff at the end of the day. To hold for that long, and maybe I could have kept putting into the position. However, I didn't. I just kind of stepped back, wanted to play with some other things, and but I've always felt that Tesla is overvalued. And I think to understand the true value of Tesla, you have to understand it as not just a car company. You have to take everything that they have under their umbrella. And for me, that's probably been the one thing that I haven't done. So I have to find some chapstick here. What's this guy talking about here? Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, you know, it's overbought, right? So somebody in the chat is saying that um look at the 3 year on CSCW here. It's overbought, and they're actually spot on that this is overbought, and it was overbought back here in 2018. So this could be it, but you know, let's take a look at TCAT, and you know, yeah, they reached overbought here, and of course we're overbought, massively overbought here for quite some time, and then you know, massively selling back down. But I don't know if that really means anything for CSCW right now. I'm not saying this is a buy or anything. I'm just I'm watching it here. This one I want to watch closely. It's only going to take some like wild news for this thing to explode, like we saw with TCAT, like we saw with DLPN. You guys see here trading for about right around $5, and then all of a sudden just a massive explosion up to $38. I mean, insane here. That's 630%. That's massive. Just kind of happened all in one day, and yeah, like one 24-hour period, and then just sold back off, right? So these are risky plays. Potential that this thing could rocket up, you know, but if we're looking here, that's 200% already, so could be done. Don't quite know if this thing will go all the way up to $30. Looks like we're tapering off just a little bit here. We're just gonna keep our eyes on it. I'm gonna actually set an alert here. Sorry, trash truck is here. We're gonna go ahead and create an alert here at or above 265, 260. Let's just call it 260, right? Just kind of trend. I might actually set an alert here once we trend up above this area as well. Yeah, why not? We'll go back to our account positions here. So we've seen this many times before. Little sell-off to start the morning, and then a nice push up. Got up to about that 1051, 1053 mark here. 1052 right on the dot there. 1052, and then just got rejected by this line of resistance here. So push down. Looks like we found our old level of support here at 1004. Actually traded below that, but right on that $10 mark. And we know that round number of $10 has been a support and a resistance for a long time. So no stranger that these whole numbers here are support levels. And as you can see, I mean, just straight push down all the way. I mean, that's a huge range there within 50 cents to just kind of trade all the way down to that level. Not so bad on the volume, 550,000, not a ton. Yeah, so a lot of people are watching Tesla right now for some trades, but Yeah, it was only a couple minutes ago. They're thinking that it could go as low. The next level of support down there is at 550. So, whew, this guy's saying he's got a box between 492 and anything under 492. So anything under 500. So I think we'll get back up. This thing kind of, when it swings hard. Pull up our flex grid, see what's going on here in the world of GameStop. So, from my understanding, is that GameStop is doing some kind of seminar to showcase their e-commerce website design or something like that. Let's see if I can even pull it up on the news. Okay. So if you guys watched my video yesterday, I released in the afternoon. I didn't do a live stream of the closing bell. However, just did a short little video. I was just kind of doing some research and stumbled upon an article with this I call Archegos hedge fund that they got margin called. As soon as I published that video, I started scrolling through YouTube and I found like within the next like hour to 2 hours, I found probably everybody else doing the same video. So by now, I'm sure you have all seen it. If you haven't, there's probably everybody's video is going to be way better than mine. Mine's me just stumbling over this Yahoo Finance article. But I'm just putting in the work. Trey said the other day on his YouTube finance video something about learn as you go, not learn and then start or whatever. So, I'm just learning as we go. But I don't know why they, dude, they love freaking Wall Street bets in the news. They just love saying that to get people hyped up and to try to get views. And there's really no substance to half of what they say. Even this article here is just investors on Reddit, mainly on the forum that participated in a short squeeze in the shares of GameStop Corporation, are laying the finger of blame on Wall Street big shots for the plunge that affected several companies Friday. Multiple posts from Reddit users, including on Wall Street Bets, bemoaned the unfairness of the situation where retail investors using social media were allegedly blamed for risky trading while institutional investors were the ones that were over-leveraged. And then here's a Reddit post here from Thanik96. Can we just appreciate for a moment that a large multifamily private office leveraged themselves to the tits, defaulted on a margin call, and it causing a market-wide sell-off to the tune of tens of billions of dollars? And yet I'm the irresponsible retail idiot whose risky trading is dangerous. Yeah, so take that, Wall Street. Here's another one from Heath1872. They unironically treat us like children with things like stopping our purchasing power and telling us how to buy and sell. It is weird. Apparently, we are more than capable to take out $50,000 in debt for school at 18, sometimes even under 18, but we aren't smart enough to trade stocks with our own money at 30. Get 'em! They literally wipe out billions and F up the market, but we are our ones need protection from ourselves. Okay. Get 'em! This is from YoJimbo4133. Oh, that's it? I thought we were going to go on a tear. Yo, Jiminy Cricket looking, you guys know. If you ever seen that movie How High, you know what I'm talking about. A little bit of Red Man and Method Man. So, I don't see, let me pull that back up. I don't see anything here. We may actually have to find it on a Yahoo search to see what's going to happen here. Oh, alright, so we're down under the $10 range, and depending on how low we can go, maybe the opportunity for me to purchase up some more shares. I do not think we're going to trade below this line for very long. Even then, I mean, 995, not, you know, not too bad. However, showing that we can break through there, this thing may actually start to push down a little bit. Just showing that we can break that number of that 10. I mean, we held strong right up here on this level of support here for a while. So the fact that we actually pushed through there, and that was a huge, that's 834,000 in volume. So I don't know what happened to really push that down. Let me get rid of my order entry tools here. Take a look to see if I can see anything over here on the level 2s, although mine does not look as clean as the Weeball one. I need to figure out how to change this up. I really like the way that the Weeball shows. And it's probably time for me to start looking to see what I can add to my account. Actually not too much. We'll see if it pushes back down just slightly. I got it set at 998. I don't think we were going to stay down there for very long. But oh, so close here. Not live news, level 2s, man. Yep, and I got filled there. So just a couple more, only 10 shares at about 998. So not a lot, but I am going to go ahead and make sure I add quick hundo to the account. Alright, so with that, I just like to make sure they're not trading on margin for any more than a few moments, you know what I mean? Or a day. Not that it should really matter too much if it's only for a day or two. And I'm not making any put options. So I could have got it for a little bit lower, but I wanted to kind of drive that price level back up, so I kind of set my limit order a little bit above. What's a few cents, right? I want to try to get that thing moving back up. I don't want to try to start bidding it down. I want to kind of bid it up. So cool with 998. We'll see if 992. I could have got it for a little bit cheaper, but what's 3 cents? Yeah, it's, for 10 shares, 30 cents, but I would rather see the stock kind of get some momentum upwards than me make 30 cents. So with that being done, currently sitting long at about 310 shares here, average price of 872. So we were at 868, and currently down on the day, up net profit in total, but down on the day. So looks like this thing is gonna start to trade down. So not really where we want to be. Depending on how low we get, I'll start buying some more shares. And let's go check out CSCW really quick. I have not gotten an alert, so yeah, this thing is just falling too. On that note, let's check out the SPY. It's an S&P 500 ETF here. So looking pretty similar to what we're seeing, and not sure if there's any huge news in the market. Mm. Yeah, I don't see anything that really details what could be going on here. But it looks like the market as a whole is going down. So we are kind of trading with the market here all the way down to 979. Wow. Wow, wow. I don't even know if I have any more support levels down there that I have previously set. And GameStop here doing yeah, just about the same here. Actually holding up a little bit better than AMC is. But yet, that's a $4 range there, as we're talking about 50 cents. So a bit different. Could be the same percentage, but it looks like the market as a whole is actually. Let me go over to RKT, see what they're doing. Starting to sell down here. Sand's actually up a little bit, and then you see they're starting to taper off. Hog starting to taper off. I mean, I think it's going to be the market as a whole here. And I'm tempted to set another limit order here. Kind of want to wait and see how this plays out. Yeah, I'm only adding 10 shares, 10 shares. The thing is if we're continuing downwards like this, I don't want to see this and be like, oh, everything that I can afford to buy it here. And then when it goes down here, it's like, oh, shoot. So, buy 10 here, 10 down here. If it goes lower, 10. Or whatever, you have in your account. Just kind of, it is smart to occasionally split it up that way. Oh, don't think we talked about the jersey this morning. This is a Guangzhou Tigers jersey from Guangzhou, China. Picked it up when I was there a few years ago on a business trip. Looks to be really quiet over here on the chat. So, not doing too hot. We'll check out. I think VTSI was moving. Still trading sideways here on VTSI. CSCW we already took a look at. We'll take another look. Yep, just kind of falling back down. RKT, what do we got? Okay, so a nice little ascending W. However, not quite. Just kind of looks like one. But what you would really like to see is a triple top, and then a continue upwards. So testing that level of resistance 3 times, and then a bounce up. So not quite a old George W, as trades like to say. And my stomach is growling. It's gonna be time for me to eat some breakfast here pretty soon. Should stop just waking up and drinking coffee. So a little bit of a buying opportunity down there in the 970s, 980s range. Currently set about 994. We did get filled at 998 with only 10 shares. So, it is what it is. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. Just checking my my account. So I am probably. I don't see too much going on here. We're gonna come back and take a look at the news. I'm gonna take a quick break, refill the coffee, little restroom break, and then when I come back, I think we're gonna take a look at some news involving GME today. Something big that could be happening. So I'll just leave you guys alone on the chart for just a moment.
Mic off. Mic on.
All right, sorry about the absence. Just a quick coffee break there to refill on the coffee here. And looks like $10 is going to be our level of resistance for the time being, just about 10.04 or so. Just trading slightly under, but we're kind of floating around that line. You know, nothing too bad. Yeah, we're down a little bit on the day, but I believe we've had the last 2 days were green days. Let me go back and see. I know yesterday, you know, at least from where we opened, excuse me, we were up just quite a bit, maybe 1% or so. Nothing crazy. If I go back to the 3-day here, or check out a 5-day, looks like on Friday, no, we were quite a bit down on Friday, as a matter of fact. So, yeah. Just looking to see where our next level of support will tend to be. Looks like we kind of found it about 1070. And looks like probably somewhere about in that range here. You can see we used it as a level of support a couple times here in the after hours. What was this, back on Wednesday, Thursday? This should be Friday. Nope, this is Friday, so Tuesday. Found it again as a level of resistance, just about in the after hours there. Kind of blew through it, so not really a strong level here. Could go even farther back to see, but we kind of just briefly touched there and pushed back up. So yeah, you know, looking at the 1-day 1-minute chart, you know, you see this and you're like, oh man, this looks pretty bad. However, you know, just take a step back, look at a 5-minute chart, kind of see where things stand. Yeah, a bit of a sell-off here, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, you know, I don't like seeing that after being where we were at the last few days, to see us kind of go down and touch that. But it's how the stock market is, and with everything else, you know, talking about the SPY, you know, a little bit more strong, or a little bit stronger than AMC. However, they did see a nice little sell here, and then the market's starting to rebound. And I'm starting to see green in my account over here. AMTX looked like it's doing okay for the day. As a matter of fact, actually quite opposite from the market here. So hit a low of 1950. So quite a ways off from where I'm trying to sell, but we're getting back up there. You know, we saw just a little bit of a pullback from our all-time high of 27.44. And we've only got 2 shares here. Was just messing around with a swing trade to see what we can do here. Looking for at least 5%. That's where I kind of got it set here. Got some alerts set as well. So once we start reaching that level, to see if we want to bump that up a little bit and make it worth a little bit more here to make this swing trade. Since it is costing us a few more days, maybe we look to make it like a 10% or so. We'll just see how it goes. Taking a look out at the 180 day, so kind of see where we're at now. Depending on where you set the Fibonacci retracement down here, you know, you can see we bounced right above the 50% line. So still in some bullish territory here for AMTX. And looking pretty good on the day. So see if we can get back up to this 2380 mark where we hit a high yesterday, at least for these 2 days. So we did find our support down here. I'm actually going to remove this drawing, and I don't really think that we're going to use this again here. Really not sure why we sold off this much. You know, could be some stop losses set here. Could be some more shorting like we've seen, you know. Uh, Man, I fear for these. Actually, you know what? I don't even care. If this is what they're doing, they're so stupid. You know, when you see these hedge funds now, with Archegos going through getting margin called and going through a fire sale, and if any other hedge funds are still over leveraging their position by trying to short out this stock, they're just crazy, and they deserve to get what's coming to them. Looks like we'll trade sideways here for a little bit, kind of floating around. I'd like to see us end above $10 now, seeing at where we have pushed down to. If we can get some buying power to step in and push this thing above 10 and stay above 10 for the day, I'm kind of happy. I'm fine with us trading sideways. You're gonna have a little bit of pullback and a little bit of push up here with some, micro bullish and bearish movement within the price action of a day-to-day, just price action movement here. So. This for us in our position here, this is a long-term trade. Kind of trading sideways. We may see some news coming out this weekend. We'll see next week what happens with the release of Godzilla versus Kong this weekend. See how that does. I actually, you know what? I think I'm planning on going to see the movie. Hope you guys that are watching this are all planning on going to the theaters this weekend to see something. If not that, just try to help AMC out here. Yeah, so this looks like it's done moving for the time being. We'll take a look at VTSI. Looks like they're kind of done for the time being as well. Could see some push up in the afternoon here for both of these. So we'll keep a close eye on this throughout the day. I have some alerts set too, in fact, so that once we see this level, if we start to push up here, especially on this color state, with this being an NFT play, if we start to see some more buying power step in and drive this thing up, then we might need to enter a small position here and ride this thing up. So sitting just about $10 right now, 10.01, or yep, right on the mark. So we'll leave it at that, and let's go check out some news, see what's going on here. So short shares availability just went up, so I would actually think it would have went down. Our short volume ratio has went down as well as the short borrow fee rate. But Fintel, we don't really like Fintel that much. I don't think they show the most accurate of data. What news is this from? April 28th. This is old news. Why is it even on there? I mean, come on, guys. I think it's just to trick people. I'm actually kind of looking, and these stupid articles here. Could AMC, GameStop, or Sundial follow the zero? Yeah, okay. March 10th, 2021. So a lot of old stuff. Nothing really new going on in the world of AMC. Wonder why they won't let me click on that. Oh, it's actually loading up, so maybe we'll go back in here. Just see what's going on. Um, well, if my stream crashes, I apologize, and I'll see you guys this afternoon. Um, we'll see what happens here. Looks like still going strong for the time being. And starting to test this level here. So that little dip that we had to sell off so far has been short-lived. So within about 20 minutes, we're back up to kind of the range we were in. So hope you guys found a price that you wanted down here to buy some more shares. And it looks like that's for me sub 10 is decent. It is averaging my price up, but it is what it is. I'll take it. I think we'll finish out this week strong, and I think moving forward to next week, I think next week we end above 12. That's at least my prediction. I think next week we end above 12. We'll see what happens. But we've got to get some good, strong news after this weekend's box office numbers. So we'll see what happens for next week. Man, I was really hoping to. So I can go over here. I was really hoping to get something up. Might just go through Reddit and see what's going on over there. Yeah, it doesn't look like much is going on in the chat over here. We'll try one more thing here. I'll do it off stream because I've already gotten. I already had to blur something out from messing around with Reddit, so. I'll have to be very careful with what I put on screen here. Now there's two Reddit pages. I'm not certain which one is the good one. Okay, looks like I found a good one. So I'll pull this over and show this real quick. This is pretty funny actually here. This is somebody on the AMC stock Reddit page put this up. It's a GoFundMe for Kenneth Griffin, the founder of Citadel. So I find that kind of funny. All right. Well, this looks like a lot of content. I'll read through this while AMC is just kind of doing its thing over there, trading sideways. Looks like we can read this one here. This is posted by u/horror. underscore Carib 2817 2 hours ago, right? So if you guys want to go check them out. It says, how could you prepare for the squeeze and all the things that could happen? The perfect storm, part one. He goes on to talk about this is the his DD, his most requested DD. As you can see, the hedges have been getting liquidated left and right. This is the best time to prepare ourselves for the so-called perfect storm. I want to state that I'm not a financial advisor. Last time I went for a walk, the center for the great apes wanted me to go into their sanctuary. Okay, so this guy's, he's a great ape, right? So we'll just kind of break through this, and forgive me for my reading. I'll take a little sip of coffee first. Hopefully it's not too choppy. See, what do I see as the perfect storm? Last time I talked about some psychological things in my DD. Those things may be the trick that the hedgies will try to pull on us. But these are the tricks that they have been trying the entire time. So what is the perfect storm, and why is it important to prepare for it? As you know, when a storm comes, you need to prepare your house for the worst. So it's better for us to over-prepare than not to be prepared at all. The perfect storm in my eyes is that hedgies will try to pull one last trick just before their house will be set on fire. This includes trying to bring down Reddit, as we talked about in our last DD. I want to state that you should never put your trust in one source and one source only. I totally agree with that. So why would they try to bring down Reddit, you may ask? It is simple. This is the ultimate FUD tactic, as some newer apes, or maybe even older apes, will start to panic. They will try to hit us with everything at once, so we better be prepared for when it does happen. The storm is referring to them trying to make us unguided, make us one unguided projectile, as no one has any idea what our fellow apes are doing. Bringing down Reddit may be the only thing that they will do, but maybe you will also see a lot of new StockWits accounts post about the fact that they have sold their shares. This will not surprise me one single bit. We have also been seeing a lot of fake accounts going around from popular YouTubers. This is all to try to bring fear into the heads of our smooth-brained apes. So just to kind of recap that, he's thinking that, or at least saying in his DD, that potentially they could try to bring Reddit down, these Wall Street Bets pages, the AMC pages, and just try to crash Reddit, at least for us. And then there has been a lot of talk, I've seen it, and you're going to get this with everything, not just with the stock market. There are going to be people faking accounts and saying whatever they want to say. That's why you have a lot of people on Twitter that celebrities or whatnot will have their Twitter the real and then their name, because a lot of fake accounts. Let me see what that alert was. Doesn't look like anything actually. We'll just go check over here. Yeah, nothing there. So, I don't know. We'll leave that there. Pull this back up. Oh gosh. So he's just saying that they could potentially try to bring down Reddit and just make us unguided, right? So that we have nowhere to prepare. But the thing is, what are you gonna do? Take down everything? I mean, Twitter. A Twitter page will pop up, a Facebook group will pop up. There'll be something. We'll all unite in some way. Even on YouTube, what are you gonna do? Shut down every YouTube channel? And he's saying that these people are faking. There's gonna be a lot of fake accounts saying that they're sold to push other people to sell. But Karab, if I'm not available on the day of the squeeze, will I miss it? No, you most certainly will not. I will try to show you why you won't miss the squeeze and how you I skipped completely number 2. How to prepare for a Reddit shutdown. I'm not saying this will happen 100% of happening. What? I'm not saying that this will happen 100% of happening. As I stated before, these are the things that I believe may happen. The AMC Discord chat is a great way to connect with fellow apes, and you can also learn a lot from them. If Reddit does shut down, I believe this is a great second place to go and see what's going on. So we just kind of talked about that. Make sure you have different ways to reach out to fellow apes, as these may be the times you need them the most. I've been seeing a lot of apes scared that they will miss the squeeze. A lot of you are new investors, and I get that missing the squeeze puts fear into your mind, but I can almost certainly assure you that you won't miss it. Try to have different platforms to follow what apes are saying. Make sure if you want to follow an account on Twitter that you don't have the fake account so that you won't get misinformed when you look at the tweets. Lastly, to close this off, I want to ask if any ape has other communication methods for all the apes. If you do, I will post it down in the thread. Okay, we'll just kind of skip through that. But Karab, if I'm not available on the day of the squeeze, will I miss it? No, you most certainly will not. I will try to show you why you won't miss the squeeze and how you can prepare for not missing it. God, it's so difficult to read on the screen. I'm going to show you an example of the VW squeeze in 2008 and how long it took to reach its full potential. However, the thing is, you have to understand with the VW squeeze is that, from my understanding, is that it was between two entities, whereas we're talking about between thousands of retail investors, and VW was basically, I think, between Porsche and the German government that really pushed this thing to squeeze, or that to squeeze. VW debut chart. Yeah, we'll just kind of look in this here. So, wow, that's really small there. Let me. From 25 to 116. Okay. As you can see, it took 2 entire days to reach its full height. This shows us that that was probably 1,000 then, not 100, right? Shows that the squeeze doesn't just happen in one day. It is important that you do not stress too much about missing the squeeze. This chart is shown with a daily candlestick pattern, so every wick means a day. That shows there were 2 full days of rising. What will you most likely encounter during these 2 days of rising, you may ask? Well, all you can probably guess, this won't be just rising in one fluid motion. There will be dips. I'm saying dips like 10% or more. This is the hedge funds that are doubling down on the short positions. They're essentially doubling down because they believe that the stock is way overpriced. This only adds more fuel to the fire, as they will get margin called and eventually have to pay for their short positions either way. Dry short hourly chart, so DRYS. So here's another example of how the squeeze took 2 days to reach its height. What I'm trying to say is that you should not worry too much about missing the squeeze, but of course you still need to be paying attention for when it happens. And we'll put up this little chart here. So this is from around $5 up to $100. Don't know if this is in daily candles here. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. So look like these are 2 days in between. This is a 2-day chart. Or at least it's broken down in 2 days, 11 to 14, 14. Oh, this must be the weekend. Sorry. As I was there, that's the weekend. And you can see on Monday, so this is a 1 day, probably a 1 day, 1 hour. If I could see here. Anyhow, you can see here, here's Monday, here's Tuesday, and that's when it started to drop. So 2 full days of the squeeze there for DRYS. So how do we know when the short squeeze will happen? I can answer this question with a very simple answer. We don't. What we do know is how to prepare for this happening. Let's say that the stock has been trading for around $20 the entire week. What you can do is put a price alert for, let's say, around 25. This will give you a notification for when it hits that price at any given time, but you will know that the stock is rising. I'm not saying this is the start of the squeeze, but it gives you a nice indication of when the price is moving without constantly looking at your phone. For the fellow apes that like to buy the dips, you can also do this the other way around. So if you guys have been following the stream this morning, we've already done that on a couple of things, and I do it quite frequently just to let me know what's trending upward or down, so that I could buy some dips. So we did it on FSR, I believe, last week, and you know, when it was hitting lows, and we've got it set for a couple of other heights on some different stocks. So he continues on. What should your emotional reaction to the squeeze happening? What should be your emotional reaction to the squeeze happening? Oh, I cannot read. Just gotta quit. I want to go point out that what I cannot tell you what to do, but I believe is important to say that you should go into direct stress when it is start. You should not go into direct stress when it's starting to happen. It will happen eventually, so we better be prepared for it emotionally and with our tools. So how should you react when the squeeze happens? First of all, don't start to stress the little dips. Okay, keep an eye out on the charts. If any of the apes want to sell during the squeeze, let them. Don't hate on fellow apes because they need the money. They have done their job the entire time by holding. Don't hate on them because they are in a different situation than you. I will be holding to the squeeze. I myself personally have not set a target price. Neither have I. Don't let Chittadell make money on DISCA or VIAC. Thanks to fellow ape autistic lord. What a name. We now know that the hedges involved in AMC shorting haven't made any money with the huge sell-offs this week. I will show you both charts so that you can see what sell-off I'm talking about. After that, I'll give you the links to the short ownership for both these companies. So Viacom, massive drop there, and Discovery, massive drop there. We know these were positions held, I believe, by Archegos, the hedge fund that got margin called and fire sold. So as you can see, both of these companies dropped significantly in price, so the short sellers profited with huge amounts if they shorted either of these companies. So we were hoping Citadel or any of the hedgies that have a heavily short stake in AMC wouldn't have profited off this huge sell-off. Luckily, we found out now that they haven't. We know this through Fintel, institutional short sellers link. And here we go. And alright, so it doesn't matter for me because mine is locked. Let's see if this one opens up here. Yeah, well, not much to see there. This is just another reassurance that they haven't made any money elsewhere to be able to cover for the AMC positions. I hope you understood why this was important. If not, let me know and I'll PM and I will try to answer your questions regarding the situation. So finally, in the first part of this new series, I want to say thank you to all the apes who've been helping me out. I also want to say thank you to Smooth Brain for giving me the motivation to post as much as I can. I'm still holding 17,000 shares strong and will continue to hold. Thursday will be my payday, and I will let you all, and you all know what that means. Yeah, same for me. But Friday. See me PM, blah, blah. These head tricks are a nasty thing that we should be prepared for. If we don't hold the banana, they will get your banana. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Nothing really really outstanding over there. As you guys can see, we're currently sitting at about 10.10 on AMC. Looking pretty good. I'll try to find some more DD here on the Reddit off screen. Looks like somebody wants me to take a look at the chat. Let's see. What's AEGY? Try to buy 500,000 shares. Can you analyze? Alright, let's go take a look over at AEGY. Alternative Energy. Take a look at the 180 day. This is an OTC stock. So those of you, I believe Webull does not allow you to trade OTCs. Not 100% sure. I feel like I've heard this name before, AEGY. Alternative Energies Partners is a development Stage Holding Company. The company operates with a subsidiary, Clerix Energy LLC, in the business of energy production and management. The company is engaged in providing support services for medical marijuana. Ethanol was its initial intended product, and it intends to establish other alternative energy products. If I'm reading this right, this is crazy. As services which include solar thermal energy production, energy management control. In May of 2012, the company acquired Clerix Energy. The company acquired the Pharmajanes. The company also acquired Simple Prepay Merchant Payment Solution from iEquity Core. The Simple Prepay system was developed to offer dispensaries, collectives, and delivery services for medical cannabis. Combined with the Pharmajanes online and smartphone ordering platform, medical marijuana patients will be able to order, process, and pay for their authorized needs. Okay, I for a second there thought this was going to go into the route of marijuana as a like some kind of biofuel, since it was talking about ethanol was its intended product. But now it looks like it's medical marijuana service support. So looks like it's a payment order and processor for medical marijuana, right from their smartphone. Excuse me, so they can order and set stuff right on their smartphone here. So price per earnings ratio is actually down on the 5-year average. Cash flow looks down. Nothing else really. They don't have a ton of information here. But let's just go take a look at the charts and see what we can see. So this is back on in February 11th. And if you guys remember, we'll take a look over here at SNDL. And SNDL, this was on February 11th. So you guys kind of see what I'm hinting at here. This was one of those, I don't want to call it a pump and dump, but basically that's really what it looks like. The dates line up almost exact. This is just a marijuana play. Risky play. Could it play out over time? Could be. I mean, what a crazy looking chart, but this is OTC, so we got to keep that in mind. I don't see any news for them recently. The last news article was January 22nd. However, actually, let me use this over here. I mean, what's crazy is even though this thing is at 0.0002 and a high of 0.0003, and although this is in the 1 day, I mean, that's 50%. Where are we currently sitting at? That's so dang hard to read this chart here. Looks like we're currently sitting at 0.0002. So from that point to where their high was at, up here, we're talking about medical marijuana and I'm talking about highs. It's about 100% increase there, and this is going back a few days ago. I don't know, man. I think it's a risky play. Not something that that I know too much about. I don't know how the OTC market works. I don't know the time frames. It looks a bit foreign to me. And I guess it stays within this range because it's so the margin is so thin. It just kind of sets, like if you look at these 5 days, it just sets right on top of this 0.0002. I mean, yeah, there is definitely potential here. I mean, you've seen it a few times, kind of trend upwards here to that 0.0004 with a high over here a few days ago of 0.0006. I don't like seeing this. It's just kind of hard for me to read, especially since I can't put this thing into like a 5-day, 5-minute chart. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, so this is all today, or all yesterday here. This is all Monday. Honestly, I just don't know how to read this this thing here. looks like at least the trend that it's showing here on our RSI, we're kind of trending downward a little bit. Um, just about where we're at though, and then our MACD showing some buying power stepping in. I mean, it could be a good time to buy right now. I really don't. I don't know. I don't typically. I like marijuana stocks, but I think for the long term, and since marijuana is not federally recreational in the U.S., I think until we reach that point, we don't really have too many real viable contenders here. I mean, maybe in the medical marijuana, not the recreational space, though. In the medical sector, you do have some stuff, but would think that there are more established companies out there. However, yeah, if you got, a little bit of money you want to put in here, I mean, let's see here. What's it going to cost for 10,000 shares? I actually don't want to send this in and then get screwed on it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this right. So for 10,000 shares, the cost of the trading commission is $2 plus $6.95. It's like $8. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's probably like $8 here. I don't know. I mean, shoot, go for it, You don't throw 20 bucks at it, Definitely can make your money. It's not something that I would play with, but, hey, you do you. You never know, this thing could blow up. However, like when you look at the 180-day chart here, you see the potential, even then, at its peak was only 0.0012. So actually, not too bad. Still, like, got to just over a tenth of a penny. So from where it currently sits now, I mean, it's pretty huge increase, but about 500% at the bull maximum there. So remember, guys, if you watched the stream, I think it was on Friday. We've got our new. So let's put some lines out here. Let's say this is bull maximum, and let's say that this is bull minimum there. So or bear minimum. Sorry, it's for the bearish guys and for the bullish guys, right? So we're calling it a bearish potential profit. So we're calling it bear minimum, BEAR minimum of about 200%, and then a bull maximum with about 482%, 500% there. So just to kind of show you guys some new terms that I'm messing around with. I kind of like it. So if you're new to the channel and you hear me talk about yeah, $100 is 500,000 shares of what the XRM is saying. Yeah, I just personally, I don't know. I think, look, man, I mean, I'm bag holding SNDL because I thought it was gonna blow, and this was just a freaking pump and dump thing and I don't even think it was from retail investors. I honestly think this was like hedge fund people and people in the media. So I watched Wall Street the other day, the original one with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, and I had also watched a few weeks ago Wall Street Money Never Sleeps with Shia LaBeouf, which that one just was not very good. But anyhow, in the original Wall Street with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, what he did was, I can't forget Martin Sheen, he's in there as well. But what Michael Douglas had Charlie Sheen do was he had him contact what's the paper, man? It's the Wall Street Journal, and then he like had set a secret code word, and then they got out to everybody, hey, this is moving, get this, get this, get this, and they started pumping up the stock, and then he called them. Michael Douglas called Charlie Sheen and was like, all right, now sell all of it, and so it's basically just a pump and dump scheme. And I think this is kind of what happened with the media. I remember when this happened, all the media was covering saying that, oh, marijuana stocks are the next big thing. Remember silver, marijuana, and a few other things they were pumping, saying, oh, this is the next big thing from Wall Street Bets. Is what they were trying to do is they were trying to get us off of AMC and GME and BlackBerry and Express and those other stocks that were heavily shorted, and they were trying to get us to put our money over into marijuana stocks. And they got pumped, and then boom, they dumped them. I mean, you can see this is not this to me is not a squeeze. This is just a pump and dump. And that's what I think happened over here. So I think you take this out of the equation. They're still trading fairly decent from where they were at. But yeah, I don't have any faith in this stock, to tell you the truth. I mean, hey, put $100 in, get you 500,000 shares. Just know that it's money you're willing to gamble away. So it's no big deal. $100, isn't that much. AMC is still currently trading sideways for a little bit. Greed is good. Dude, crazy. I've got another article here in the AMC stock Reddit forums. Oh, damn. I guess I'll put it on the screen, then you guys can read it. If you see it, I won't read what this is, but this is a little joke here that I find kind of funny. I'm just gonna pop it up here just for a sec, and I'm gonna take a little quick restroom break, and I'll be right back.
Mic off. Mic on.
All right, we're back over here. All right, so I'm gonna read this DD post from Calm Before Quillen. Anyhow, post about 12 hours ago on AMC stock Reddit page. 55% until liftoff, 140.6 million counterfeit shares, and 45.35% short interest. Now, I don't know where he's getting this information. I'm hoping he can tell me because, and he actually looks like he has some DD down here. So we're going to see because, as we know, Fintel does not report the short interest that high. He starts off by prefacing that he's not a financial advisor. Everything disclosed in this post was done by himself with public information. He came to his own conclusions, as should you. Then he's got a nice little joke here about shorting Ken Griffin's wife for Margot Robbie. AMC has at least 140.46 million counterfeit shares, broad shorts or naked shorts, leaning towards borrowed nakeds, since most illegal trading activity has been done on short selling, circulating in the public trading market with a 45%, 35% short interest. Next DD. Short interest is already 100%. If external counterfeit shares were included with the FINRA data, we'll get my uncle who works at Millennium to verify it. So he's basically saying that the it's already at 100% maxed out, and what we saw this morning, I think it was like 18 or 19% short interest. But he's saying if FINRA were to include the external counterfeit shares that are being traded, it would already be at 100. Important research before you type. Please educate yourself on the difference between authorized shares versus outstanding shares and restricted stocks versus restricted stock units, RSUs. The Q4 conference call never stated that the 450 million shares were verified as 100% real or fake. It was stated that AMC currently has 450 million outstanding shares. Update at 11 p.m. Looks like yesterday. Apparently, people called and the executives told them that they issued 400.16 million outstanding shares. If this is true, then the DD is completely wrong. Before the mother of all short squeezes, Class A common stock AMC New York Stock Exchange indicate the number of shares outstanding of each issuer's classes of common stock as the latest practicable date. Class A common stock. Number of shares outstanding as of October 31st, 2020, 85 million Class A, Class B, 51 million. Before the mother of all short squeezes, AMC short squeezes arc started. AMC had a total outstanding issued shares of 85.6 million. This could be validated based on their quarterly filing report on their official website. The quarterly filing report is obligated to report the outstanding shares on the same data as its filing date. If any additional shares were issued, AMC would have to file a 425B5 to announce that the company is issuing additional, removing or amending shares. A 425B5 form clarifies or updates security offerings information before going public. Its main purpose is to announce the number of shares that might be available to trade publicly. Usually, a 425B5 form is used during IPOs, but can still be used post-IPO if the company wants to augment the distribution of its shares. The 425B5 form would state the number of shares that are supposed to be augmented and state the current number of outstanding shares. The most recent one being the additional 50 million shares on January 25th. If the company ends up deciding to augment the issued shares, a 425B3 form would be required to state it. A 425B3 form is basically a confirmation the company is 100% changing the number of issued shares. As for AMC, the most recent one was dated back to December 11th, 2020, that stated 178 million more shares would be issued. Pre-mother of all short squeeze outstanding shares, 85 million plus 178 equals 263.6 million shares. So from what I get after reading this is that they're saying that they have 450 million outstanding shares, but he's saying that according to what's been filed, and they would need to file if they amend or issue new shares or augment those shares, they would need to file 425B5, and they have not done so, basically to bump those shares up to 450. Additionally, they would have to file a 425B3 to state that they're changing the number of shares. I'll be back 1 sec. Sorry, I gotta take something out of the oven for my girlfriend. Alright, sorry about that. However, he's saying that the most recent one was dated December 11th, 2020, and that only adds 178 million more shares. So that would only bring the total of 263, not 450. So here's a 200 million shares of Class A common stock. AMC Holding Entertainment may offer and sell from time to time in one or more series of issuance and on terms that we will determine at the end of the offering up to 178 million shares of our Class A common stock, par value of 0.01 cent. Okay. 50 million shares issuance. On January 25th, 2021, AMC filed another B25, B5 form regarding the 50 million additional shares that took everyone off guard. AMC announced it was 500 million additional shares, but the document states 50 million. It will matter if it gets issued, but right now it doesn't. So it looks like they have not issued these additional 50 million shares. On the same document, AMC reported that the total number of outstanding shares were 287 million. Obviously, it's not 263.6 million. So was this subtle increase due to naked shorting or another Wanda? To verify this, 8K forms and B25, B3 forms were read from December 11th, 2020 until now, and none of them mention anything related to additional shares. Form 3, 4, and 5 were also read but weren't required. These forms only report a change in ownership of a company's shares, so regardless if an insider or an institution sells their position, it will only affect the float, not the outstanding shares. The total outstanding shares can only be affected by AMC itself through filings. Based on this, the fake shares as of January 25th accumulated are 23.4 million. Possible counterfeit shares. He has a total of what they should have, 287 million. Minus the 263.6 million equals the which 287 is what they filed, 263 is what they should have, 23.4 are the possible fake shares. All right, some other stuff here. I don't want to read all this. Goodbye Wanda, hello 2K AMC. On March 12th, 2021, AMC released its annual report. As stated on page 36, as of December 31st, 2020, Wanda owned 51,769,784 shares of Class B common stock, or 23.08% of our outstanding common stock, representing approximately 47.37% of the voting power of our outstanding common stock, and Wanda forfeited 5,666,000 of their Class B common stock. On February 1st, 2021, Wanda exercised its right to convert its remaining 46,103,784 shares of Class B common stock into an equivalent number of shares of Class A common stock. Even after conversion, Wanda may have significant influence over our corporate management and affairs due to their representation on the board of directors and their 9.8% stock ownership as of March 3rd, 2021. Based on our records and information from Wanda, as of now, it is unknown whether these forfeited shares were canceled or reissued. In addition, there are Class B common stocks that are, so these forfeited shares will be omitted. To find the number of shares Wanda currently owns, now, with its 9.8% ownership, multiply the current total outstanding shares, 450.16 million, by 9.8%. Then it's a little article here where he found this information that Wanda forfeited 5,666,000 of Class B common stock shares. So he converts a little conversion here, just kind of breaking down his DD and how he came up with it. Wanda's converted Class A common stock shares of 51.7 million to 5.6 million equals 46.1 million. And then Wanda's ownership, and he multiplies that by the shares outstanding and or by the percentage rate, right? So here we go. Keep on going. 44.1 million is approximately the number of shares Wanda currently owns. This can be backed up by articles such as Benzinga stating a common stock in early February, resulting in the Chinese company owning 44,042,724 shares of Class A common stock, dividing 44.04 shares by 450.16 million. Would yield 9.8% when rounded to the tenths. And he breaks that formula down as well. Remember that Wanda sold off a portion of the converted shares. Those sold can be found by subtracting 44.1 from the 46.1 million. This doesn't matter in terms of total shares outstanding, but it does matter to the float, since these sold shares will increase the float due to it being Class A common stocks. Once closely held shares are sold, they will reallocate back into the float. This is why it's important to use websites such as FinViz or CMLViz for their quick updates. So I have to check these out. FinViz. I'll just pull up that real quick, see if I can get this on, or if this is one of those pay ones. We'll go FinViz AMC. And I'm just trying to go over this for the first time to see. There's their float. So they're saying 480.93 million shares outstanding. Short ratio interest super low actually. I'm sorry, actually a lot higher than what we have seen. So even here they're saying, if I'm reading this correctly, will be 28% on the short interest ratio. Anyhow, let's get back to the DD here. The amount of a company's floating stock may rise or fall over time. This can occur for a variety of reasons. For example, a company may sell additional shares to raise more capital, which then increases the floating stock. If restricted or closely held shares become available, then the floating stock will also increase. Remember, Wanda isn't the ownership of AMC. To find the total ownership, which includes both the insiders and institutions, CMLViz or FinViz utilized. FinViz data is all rounded, while CML's data are more precise. The current insiders ownership and institutions ownership is 0.53% and 10.14% respectively. Then multiply 450.16 million by the 10.67% to get the total number of closely held shares. The reasoning behind that is that these are closely held shares, aka restricted stocks, and to determine the float, the outstanding shares have to minus the restricted stocks. So total outstanding shares minus restricted stocks multiplied by the closely held shares equal the float. Floating stock example, the percentage held in that example is percentage of ownership. Stop confusing with Yahoo's one. Yahoo is outdated AF, and it isn't even the percentage of ownership. If it is, that means every stock's reported float is wrong. Calculate for yourself. And he gives a little breakdown here: institutions and shares outstanding. With these numbers, the float can also be calculated. The float is currently at 403.94 million on Webull, and multiple trading platforms. The calculated float is 402.13, give or take. The percentage of error is less than 1%. As mentioned earlier, the outstanding shares can only be changed by filing the forms mentioned above, and from January 25th until now, no filings other than the 10K forms and the annual report were filed. No information regarding additional outstanding shares was stated at all, and only states that the currently outstanding shares are 450.16 million, and in those 10K forms, none of that was mentioned either. And then he gives links to the 8K forms here. That means the actual outstanding shares are 263.6 million, not 287 million, since it includes counterfeit shares. And since Wanda converted their shares into Class A, the 46.1 million shares have to be added to the 263.6 million. Total outstanding shares as of March 29, 2021 is 309.7 million. Hope you guys are following along. You can go find this on the AMC stock Reddit page. Just type in AMC stock Reddit, and you should just search for the DD. You'll find it there. I'll upload this, so try to keep this thing to the top. Oh wow, this is a very long DD, guys. We'll just keep it rolling here. So basically saying the total outstanding shares should be, as of this point in his DD, 309.7 million, not the 450 that they're claiming so far. Since it's uncertain whether the closely held shares are determined by the percentage of the outstanding shares or by their share count, it has to be calculated in two ways. This is bound to be less accurate, so don't rely on this number. Method 1. Given that the percentage of restricted stocks is still at 9.8%, when the total outstanding shares are 309.7 million, multiply the 3097 by 10.67% to find the total number of shares owned. Then subtract the total number of shares owned from the 309.7 million. Ownership of calculated float gives that calculation here. Um, Finally, to extract the fake shares flowing buoyantly in the market, subtract the reported outstanding shares from the calculated outstanding shares, then divide the fake shares by the calculated outstanding shares. For the short interest or float, divide the fake shares by the calculated float. And he breaks this down here. To conclude, AMC has at least 140.46 million counterfeit shares, naked shorts or borrowed shorts circulating in the public trading market, leaning towards borrowed naked shorts since most illegal trading activity has been done on the short selling. The actual total outstanding shares are 309.7 million. The short interest of the outstanding shares is 45.35%. The short interest of the float can either be 50.82% or 53.7% or in between. The average short interest of the float is 52.26%. All numbers are based on the information given and public data. Side note, FinViz, one of the top stock quote websites that updates real-time data every 15 minutes, reports AMC with total outstanding shares of 480 million and float of 233 million. 170 million counterfeit shares with a 55% short interest then. I don't even know why there is no law regarding the necessity of all websites to report the same data from the same database. Deuces. So some really good DD there, and he actually highlights where we actually had pulled up here this number here, 480 million shares outstanding with a float of 233.01 million shares floated. So short float interest of 21.1%. That's pretty crazy to think about. Hopefully you guys follow along with that, as I probably won't be able to recap all of it, but basically saying that there is a shit ton of short shares out there, a lot of counterfeit shares, a lot of counterfeit shares to the tune of about 140 million counterfeit shares here. So 140.46, so almost 141 million shares, and that would raise the average short interest on the float to 2.26%. So, man, that is wild. Pretty crazy stuff. I'm gonna actually bookmark this page here so we can stop using Fintel. Just quickly, we'll go over to Fintel and compare Fintel to see what they're saying here. So Fintel short volume ratio at 19%. Oh, you know what? I don't have all the information on Fintel, so kind of a crappy overview if you ask me. Anyhow, some good DD here. 94% upvoted this. I'm going to upload this. Dude, where the heck? It's not even showing me where I can upload it. Here it is. Boom. Let's get the thing uploaded here. So we'll come back to the charts here and see we're kind of floating around that $10.10 range. Pull up the flex grid, take a look over at GME. Probably actually GME is not doing too bad here, sitting at 188.91. So we know they tend to kind of mirror each other a little bit, and yeah, we're doing okay. Not too bad. I'll take it. Just real quick, looking at some other things. Yep, still trading sideways there, and yep, still down there. So looks like those are done running for a while. We'll keep my eye on this Color Star Technologies CSCW for its possible NFT play, and we'll see what happens. So just to kind of recap what the DD is saying, sounds like there's a crap ton of shares that are fake out there. And what that means for us is that once those shares get realized, because the executives at AMC said that they wanted to do a share count, and hopefully what that means was that would get rid of a lot of those shares, and essentially it's going to drive the price up. That's to my understanding. I'll do some more research on it to see what I can kind of find out about what that truly means. But essentially that should drive the price up, because if you have that many shares outstanding and are not supposed to be, that means that the short ratio is wrong. That means a lot of stuff is wrong. A lot of stuff is wrong. And now if you have the price of the stock being $10.10 on what they consider to be 450 million shares, well, if it's not truly 450 million shares, that could, in my opinion, I think that could dramatically affect the price of the stock here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Thanks for staying on this long if you've been on. I'm going to take care of some stuff around the house, do some research, do some more reading, and see you guys this afternoon. So that's about all I got for the day. Check out the AMC stock on Reddit, and yeah, check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Guys, send me a shout. I'll be on there. I don't post too much on there. Those are new accounts. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see you this afternoon. Peace.
Mic off.